Welcome to episode 11 of Nudges and Bridges. Over the last six or so episodes, I've been going through stages of moral psychology or cognitive development, or maybe a little bit less highfalutinly, how to watch a sports game or music to put you in certain stages of mind. So I've been working at that. And then today, I want to talk about step 7, which is kind of a permission to do all of these at once. And that also will tee us up for the next set of episodes that will last for quite a while, where I'll be looking at particular ways that a given artifact can put you in each one of these categories. Now, just as a reminder, the 6 nudges, if you will, that we've had to date are an us versus them category, then an understanding or an appreciation of rules, then a particular appreciation of a kind of rule, a golden rule, or dependence on relationships or importance of relationships and friendships, then a sense of joy, a sense of as good as it gets. Then a next step is a step of perspective, where you step back and take a look at things and try to sort out what's important. And then the last episode was a sense of transcendence, of a feeling of being at one, not just with a sense of perspective, but almost at one with the entire universe. It can be very spiritual or religious. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it often is. And when I've been looking at these stages of development, and I've been putting them in context or kind of building off of work that has been done in moral psychology by people like Kohlberg and Gilligan, frequently in those stages there's at least an inference, if not a direct suggestion, that we go through these in sequential stages, with each one being a little bit better than the last one, a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more mature, a little bit more praiseworthy. And I think that there is a truth to that. Certainly, I think to the extent to which we are undertaking actions that is benefited because we think that they're right and better for all of humanity, I think that's better than doing something just in order to get some material possession, which is frequently what happens with kind of an us versus them kind of thing, materialistically or in terms of power. So I think there's a truth to that. But I think at the same time, we inhabit all of these stages at any given day. That at one point we can be following the rules, at another point that we can know that we have to compete, which is more of an us versus them. At still another point, we can come with a sense of transcendence or something like that, or a sense of joy. And so I like to think of step 7 as a step of movement, when we recognize that there are different times and places that are appropriate for each one of those stages. To go to the Torah, or the Old Testament, it's King Solomon's notion that to everything that there is a season and a purpose to everything under the sun. There's a time to be born, a time to be die, a time to cry, and a time to laugh. And so there are times and places for each one of these. And so in step 7, I like to remind people, or not to put almost too much pressure on people, to say that you have to be at this highest stage, which I think overall is good, but at the same time to recognize that there are different levels that we inhabit at different stages of our life. Now, with respect to that, then there is also a sense that going forward, in the notion of these nudges and bridges, have been that cultural artifacts, music, film, sports, our pets, all of those can help nudge us into these psychological states of mind. And those states of mind, or a subset of those, also can be bridges that give us the opportunity to connect with each other, even if we disagree with each other on various kinds of social and political issues. And so I'd like for us to keep in mind each one of these stages, each one of these steps. And starting with the next episode, I want to start going through examples of how sports do this. And once I've gone through those 7 steps or 7 stages through sports, both in terms of the nudges and in terms of the bridges that it helps us connect to, then we'll go through music. And then after we're done with all 7 of the music, then we can look at some other things as well, other kinds of cultural artifacts. So this particular episode is a reminder of the 6 steps, a recognition of that 7th step, giving you the permission to move among them, and also to tee us up to think through what each one of those 7 nudges, what each set of those 7 bridges will be able to put us into a state where we can use cultural artifacts as we go through each one of them to build bridges with people, even though we may disagree with them on social and political issues.